All right, welcome people. Thank you for coming. First of all, I just want to thank everyone for coming out and showing the support and love. This is After Hours launch party. The whole purpose of us coming here is to kind of promote the art courses and to get you guys thinking of what it is to be an artist and to get in the industry, yeah? So first of all and foremost, again, I want to introduce the panel. We have to my left, Mr. Freshada, big artist. You can introduce the rest.
We have Joe Grime, DJ, radio DJ, club DJ, Zon Deja Vu, very big DJ, my DJ. He's a DJ.
DJ.
We have a man like JC, the Green Demon. We got Joker Star, Fluke Beat.
Oh.
Yeah? So, just like to thank you guys for coming down and being part of After Academies. And also, anybody who's interested in signing up, speak to Giovanni and let's make it happen.
Yes, again, this is your opportunity, guys. If you've got any queries about the music industry, to grill the panel, grill the panel hard, ask them as many questions as you can about the industry. It's your perfect opportunity to do that. So, Carl, you can ask the first question.
Yeah. First question is, are today's artists good role models?
Said no.
No?
So this is going out to you guys. We just want your opinion, yeah? So again, there's no right or wrong answers. It's just a debate. We just want your general ideas, your general opinion. So we just want to know, do you think that today's artists are good role models? And if so, why? Anyone? Somebody in the panel is going to be brave enough? Okay. Or do I have to start calling out names? Gobby!
I could kick it off if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Music has definitely changed over the last, I'd say, 40, 50 years. The music that's put out at the minute is more so to make a lot of money. Well, the popular music anyway is there as business rather than as a message for the people. So I was talking to my mother today and listening to Smooth FM and some other radio station and all these old songs that came on, like the Motown music, and people of that era all had something to say, you know what I mean? But these days it's all about kind of dumbing down people and everything kind of sounds similar. So going back to if they're good role models, no, they're not good role models because they don't really have a voice. Maybe the independent artists are more, they still are involved in what's going on in kind of where they live and stuff like that, so they will give you kind of a picture of what's going on. But as for the popular artists, that's not really their job to do that.
Okay, I know, Joe, you got something to say, but before you say something, Joe, I just want to ask the audience opinion, what you feel about what Joker Star says. Does anyone agree with Joker Star or disagree with Joker Star? I know you got on the way. Does anyone disagree or agree with Joker Star to what he's saying about how music has changed from maybe the early 50s, 60s to now, 2000?
Okay. Yeah, I do agree. I think that because the music that sells these days, particularly hip hop, it is very negative. It is very, look at my car, look at my Audemars, look at my chain, you know what I'm saying? So there isn't a lot of space for people to be positive, and a lot of positive artists get overlooked. People that try and do like Lupe Fiasco, people like that, they get pushed aside.
Yeah, they get pushed aside. Sorry, what was you going to say, Joe?
I was going to ask the question, why do artists have to be role models in the first place? Because if you look back, you were talking about music 40 years ago. Yeah. The reason the artists were not necessarily role models is because of the way the press behaves. We now put artists on a pedestal. And so you open The Sun, you see them in Bazaar, you see them in all these different places, and you know the insides and outsides of everything they do. Whereas maybe 20, 30 years ago, you're not looking so much at what they're doing in their private life, you're listening to the content of their music. And that's not to say that some of the points people are making on what's talked about and the lyrical content and that, yeah, it is lacking lately. But I just have this thing of, why are we looking to these people as being role models? Okay. Why, rather than entertainers, is what they actually are.
Okay, and
can I just say something?
Go ahead, Jolien.
Yeah. I agree with what he said. What I was gonna say is do they have to be role models, these artists these days?
The
But
I
one
think-
thing I'd add with that is it's like 50 Cent. I don't know if you follow hip hop, you'll know. Obviously, I think it was the BET Awards where some of his group robbed someone else's chain.
Gunplay.
And all of that. And that to me is nonsense because once you get to a level, you are in the public eye whether you like it or not, and then you do have to do the PR and that side of it. But I just think our perception of artists is why are they the role models? Why is it not the people doing something constructive like you guys here? You should be the young people's role models, and they should look to music to entertain them.
I mean, I love the answer. I love the answer. JC, have you got anything to say on top of that as a young up-and-coming artist yourself?
I think that artists are role models, period. Strictly from the fact because music is very influential in it. So I think once you influence someone, you're instantly a role model because you have an effect on their behavior or their choice making. So from the fact that like, I think like you said it, I think it is the media because there are some artists that promote positive stuff like people, even if it's a dance music. I think if you make a dance tune and it says something like believe in yourself or something, maybe it's like it's a catchy beat or whatever. Some people don't really focus on lyrics and stuff that much, but it's still a positive message. But it's because of the media that kind of show the negative people a lot more. That's the type of people that we see in our face a lot more. So
Love the answer.
yeah, so those type of people aren't really good role models, but I think they're...
The other question with that is, I mean, I take So Solid, for example. Every time I see him in the paper lately, it's because they've been done for a fray from one of their DJ bookings fighting. But I know for a fact that a lot of the money they made, they reinvested in their community and stuff.
Definitely.
Where do I see that in the Sun or the Mirror? I never do.
Good point, man. Good point.
So it's like, when you're reading these things, you've got to read it from the position of the people writing it, as opposed to just reading it and taking it as gospel.
But to rebuttal all of that, the big thing is like why popular artists are indirectly role models, even if they don't choose to be. It's because the age group they're aiming for, they're not reading the paper.
Well, that is...
They can memorize the new K-Coke lyrics, but they can't memorize mathematical equations.
I agree with you on that.
Because they listen to more music than they do to their teachers.
But then can you blame that solely on... I mean, obviously the artists play a part in that, and it'd be great if we could have artists using their talent to promote positively. But it's just, for me, it's like a lack of education. You've got young people coming up, and if they're looking at someone like K-Coke and thinking that's what they should be learning and reciting, and then not going and doing music, there's a bigger aspect there, and there's a social responsibility away from the music that's letting them down.
I think the main thing is basically the young people's perception on the word real, on what's real and what's not, because like it seems like at some point if you're not talking about taking someone's life or you're not actually talking something that's cruddy or that's dark, then you're not being real. Like it's one of those things. So I don't know. I think it's
okay. So I mean, so overall, I mean, Fresh, back me up on this if you give. I think that artists can be good role models and they can also be bad role models, but at the end of the day, they are role models for someone. It gives someone dreams, it gives someone aspiration. You see an artist, you think, yeah, I can do that too. So again, it has a flip side, negative and positive. But again, the media do have a big part to play in the whether an artist is a good role model or not. Like you were saying, like the media wasn't as big back in the 40s and the 50s as it is today. So again, we're going to move on to the next question. I mean, is everyone happy with the answer that you was giving and the feedback that you got in terms of artists being a good role model? Yeah? On to the next one, Carl. Was it me? Me?
Yeah.
Okay.